హాయ్, హలో, నమస్తే, నమస్కార్, వణక్కం, ఆదాబ్. గుడ్ మార్నింగ్, గుడ్ ఆఫ్టర్నూన్ అండ్ గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్. మీరు వింటున్నారు పాటల పూతోటల మాటల గుబాలింపు తెలుగు ఎన్ఆర్ఐ రేడియో. ఇది ప్రవాసాంధ్రుల గుండె చప్పుడు. నేను మీ ఫేవరెట్ ఆర్జే స్వప్న. ఈరోజు మన మదిలో మాటలోకి ఒక స్పెషల్ గెస్ట్ వచ్చేసారండి. ఈ షో ఈరోజు ఈ షోకి ఒక స్పెషల్ గెస్ట్ విచ్చేశారు. ఆయన గురించి చెప్పే కంటే ముందు ఆయన వర్క్ చేసే ఆర్గనైజేషన్ గురించి చెప్తాను. ఓకే. ఎకల్ ఈజ్ ఇండియాస్ బిగ్గెస్ట్ రూరల్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఎన్జిఓ. It started with one teacher schools providing basic literacy in far-flung areas of India. Today, it has grown to 67,000 schools across each and every state of India. For getting more information about Ekal, let's talk with our special guest tonight, Mr. Akshay, who is the chapter president for Central New Jersey. Hello, Mr. Akshay. Hello, Mr. Akshay.
Hello?
Welcome to Telugu NRI Radio.
This is Akshay.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Before starting our conversation, I just want to let our listeners to know about the phone numbers to contact us. So let me tell the phone numbers now. India ఆత్మీయులు అయితే 970-522-2005, USA ఆత్మీయులు అయితే 919701-2005, UK ఆత్మీయులు అయితే 115888-2005. స్కైప్ నుండి తెలుగు ఎన్ఆర్ఐ రేడియోకు కాల్ చేయొచ్చండి. అలాగే చేసి ఎకాల్ గురించి మీరు మోర్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అక్షయ్ గారితో మాట్లాడి తెలుసుకోవచ్చు. సో మిస్టర్ అక్షయ్.
By the way, Akshay hasn't joined the show yet. This is
Oh,
Akshay.
okay. You are Ajay?
I'm Archit.
Arjit. Oh, sorry for Arjit. So, can you tell me, could you please tell about yourself and give us a brief introduction about Ekal Vidyalaya?
Okay. My name is Archit Reddy. I'm a junior in Somerset, New Jersey.
Okay.
Basically, I decided to join Ekal because I've been generally motivated by the possibility of doing community service.
Okay.
And so, basically what Ekal does is they set up one teacher school in different rural villages in India. They have a school in each state. And so they have a small school. It's a one-room school where they teach the kids the simple curriculum, arithmetic, grammar, writing, the simple education, and they also allow them to allow the children to go to their day jobs and work for their family too.
Oh,
so
okay.
It provides education to children who don't have any access to that.
Okay. So, what is inspired you to come to this organization?
Well, for the past 3 years, I've been working in India over the summer.
Okay.
And generally, I've been very motivated to do community service back home in India and do whatever I can to improve my own home country. And so when I heard about Ekal from my family, I realized that it'd be a good cause for me to join.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Ajit Singh, Ji, someone is waiting on the call to talk to you. Let me take the call. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
వెల్కమ్ టు మదిలో మాట అండి. ఎవరు మాట్లాడుతున్నారు? ఓకే, సారీ ఫర్ ద డిస్టర్బెన్స్. దే డ్రాప్ ద కాల్ అండ్ యా, లెట్స్ గో విత్ అవర్ కన్వర్జేషన్. Could you please tell us about Ekal span across any other countries too, or just in India?
Most of their schools are concentrated in India. They're also doing work in Nepal right now, but they have support coming from across the globe.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. Some other caller is added. Let's talk with him. Hello, welcome to Madilo Matandi.
Hello, this is Akshay Joshi calling for the 7 o'clock
Hey,
show.
yeah. Hi, Akshay. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. We are just waiting for you. So, uh, Ajit is already joined with us.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, actually, I gave him the number. The last
Oh,
time I
okay.
tried, it didn't go through for some reason. So now, well, fortunately, it's working all right.
Oh, that's cool. And let's talk about something. Already, I asked him about the things um, about Ekal, and I asked him what is inspired you to come to this organization. He told everything. And what about you, Mr. Akshay?
Sure. So
Mm,
essentially, so I was always interested in the field of education, right? Because I think that's key to progress for a country.
yeah,
And if you notice, any country that's doing well always has a very strong education system. That's very, very key. There's many other things, many institutions and other things also, but it all starts with education. And
okay,
unfortunately, back home in India, we were not able to make a significant stride in comparison with some of the developed
mm,
countries where our literacy rate used to hover around 60s
yeah,
before. I think now it's gone up to 70%, but that's still really very low.
yeah,
And
that's
that
true.
has always made me interested in the field of education. So anything that promotes education, that promotes literacy, especially in the areas where it's not easy to reach, had always ignited my passion. So I was always looking for a cause related to education and literacy. And I just came across once, this was I think almost 5 years ago. So I came
Okay,
across, I think it was some friend who said that there's this organization who do work in exactly the same things you're interested in. Do you want to give it a try? So I had left my name and number on their website, not really
okay,
expecting anybody to follow, but I just left it. Once while returning from work, somebody called me, and it
oh,
turns out that it was just a cold calling exercise. And they started telling me about Ekal Vidyalaya and how it's promoting literacy in rural areas, how the concept of one teacher school works, how the money is purely used for the cause and very minimal, less than 10% overheads, which is phenomenal,
yeah,
especially considering most non-profits have much more than that. So
yeah,
they
that's
said,
true.
would you be interested in coming for the concert? So what I told them, why stop at the
Mm,
concert? I offered them, why don't I become a volunteer instead? I'll help you organize concerts. So that's how I got involved with Ekal like almost 5 years ago. And it's been a pretty interesting journey ever since. So that's my story in a nutshell.
oh, that's nice. Before going to the more conversation, can you tell little more brief about yourself and uh, and about Ekal in your words? Because Ajay already spoke about that.
Sure thing. So
Yeah.
my name is Akshay Joshi, as I've introduced myself. And in addition to my day job, so my day job is a program manager. I work for a large financial services company, building
Okay.
applications mostly on the investment banking side. So that's my day
Okay.
job. And outside of it, amongst the other activities I'm interested in, spending time with friends and family, one of the key things that I
Yeah.
do is I'm a chapter president for Central New Jersey. So how
Hmm.
Ekal USA works is there's chapters across the US. I believe at this time we have some 36 chapters. I might be off by one or two, but that's broadly the range of number of chapters we have in the US. And
Okay.
each chapter kind of functions as its own entity in terms of creative freedom. They're given freedom to promote Ekal in whatever way we think is appropriate, using some broad guidelines that the board provides, of course. So
Okay.
in Jersey, there's around 4 chapters, and the one that I am a president of is called the Central New Jersey chapter. So that's my association with Ekal. So
Okay.
essentially, that makes me responsible for ensuring that Ekal is promoted in our area. We manage the concerts. The donations are raised for the great cause that Ekal stands for, involving younger people, making sure that there's a succession line, right? Making sure that younger people
Mm.
also know what goes on and become associated with Ekal over time. So all that is a part of my responsibility.
Okay. That's nice. Uh, Akshay ji, someone is waiting for on the call to talk with us. Let's take that call. Hello.
Sure.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Madilo Mata. May I know who is speaking? హలో, ఎవరు మాట్లాడుతున్నారండి? Okay. I don't know. That call is not connecting. Yeah, let's go ahead with Mr. Akshay. I'm sorry. Do you know how is the Ekal name was founded?
Yeah, absolutely. So Ekal has now, for those of you who speak Hindi or any associated language, Ek means like one.
Yeah.
So the whole concept, it's a wonderful concept actually, and that is one of the things that really attracted me to the concept of Ekal Vidyalaya. So unlike a regular school where you have, let's say you have like a regular CBSE school or a regular government board school. So it's a full-fledged school, right? So you need to have a lot of infrastructure, like a proper school building. You need a lot of teachers teaching various subjects. You need a course curriculum. You need to adhere to very strict rules, guidelines, which is always good. There's nothing wrong in it. It should be that way because it kind of increases the quality of education. But a lot of times, even the circumstances of rural India, and some of you might have even been to some of these far-flung areas where it takes you 2 days to get to. There's hardly any road, no electricity, there's very less infrastructure. Not to mention the economics of the situation is also not very good, where you may not be able to really afford the kind of infrastructure. So Ekal, what it does, it basically minimalizes everything to a one-teacher school. So all you need is like 4 walls and a teacher. So that one teacher will teach the kids basic literacy. So it doesn't have to be advanced subjects. What they do is the person who otherwise would have been illiterate is now literate. Now, after that point, it's up to that person to take it forward, maybe go to a regular government-run school or a private school, but at least where they would have not have known how to read or write, now the person knows how to read or write. And in addition to that, they're taught like basic math, basic science, and best part is it's all rooted in our culture. So while doing all of this, they don't let go of the culture. So they make sure that there is no disruption. The kids are taught the folklore and the traditions of that area. So it's not imposition anything. So if you are running a school in Andhra, we'll make sure that the local culture is followed. If you're opening a school maybe in Karnataka, the local culture of that place will be followed. And that's basically what attracted. That's what Ekal is, like one. So it's a one-teacher school. That's fundamentally what it is.
That's awesome.
Basically, that's how you keep the overheads also low, which is why we proudly say that we're able to run a full school in just $365 a year. That's what all our donors are told, that, hey, $365 a year, if you can donate, that gets you one school. So 20 kids can benefit just by $365 for the full year. Think about that.
That's awesome. Awesome, really awesome. I think Vilas Garu is on the call. Hello? Hello? Hello, Vilas Garu? That's okay. Let's go ahead with our conversation. And is Ekal offering any other services in addition to this massive education program?
Let's have our friend Archit talk a little bit to that. Then I'll add on to what he says because
sure.
Let's also bring him into the conversation. So Archit, do you want to just say some of the things that Ekal is involved with?
Yeah. So Ekal provides various types of education in these rural villages. So they have first off have their they just educate the children in the village, teach them their basic core curriculum, but they also have community education. They teach them health and hygiene. So basically sanitation. They try to work to prevent diseases. They try to teach the villagers how to adopt some more healthy, cleaner habits and live a much more healthy lifestyle. They also have what they call civic education, where they teach the citizens, the villagers, they teach them about their rights as Indian citizens and about Indian law and whatnot. They also teach them value education. They'll teach the villagers and the children too. Bhagavad Gita, the Ramayana. They also have agricultural education. They have very different things. They have earthworm fertilizing. They have different types of farming. This is done to make sure the villagers can live on their own and live in their village happily instead of moving to the cities.
Oh, that's awesome. Really awesome. And
Excellently put. That's exactly right. So essentially, we have branded some of these things. So Ekal Vidyalaya is the
mm,
school arm of it. So that's the one teacher school that we discussed, because that's how Ekal started. It's still the main. It's still the main USP of Ekal. So Ekal Vidyalaya is a centerpiece of all of this. But then
okay.
the idea was that now that we are in almost 67,000 villages, it's 67,000 schools as of today, with almost 2 million kids enrolled,
Yeah.
and literally every single state of India has an Ekal school. So then the
Oh,
thought of the
that's
management
awesome.
was absolutely. Then the thought of the management was we need to branch out now. Now that we have such a great we
Mm,
groundwork laid out, why don't we expand upon it and build on top of the success that a Vidyalaya arm has already achieved? So the logical progression was what we call Ekal Gramothan, that Archit perfectly explained. So that's holistic
okay.
village development. And now I already have a school. What do I do with it? Because you can't just make people literate and not have them do some job or earn a livelihood. So Gramothan, what
Yeah.
it does, it actually trains people in different skills. It could be for women, it could be tailoring, it could be organic farming for men, it could be computer literacy for somebody who wants to take it to the next level. But essentially, it's a resource center where there's different types of training, financial assistance, and also maybe helping them out with infrastructure building. So one
Mm-hmm.
Gramothan resource center typically serves 100 surrounding villages, and it goes
Oh.
beyond just education. So that's Gramothan, right? Now
Mm,
we have education, we have skill development, but how about health? Because as we all
yeah.
know, the medical infrastructure is not really good once you go beyond the big cities in India. It's a little difficult to get good doctors. At least basic healthcare should be there for the villages,
Yeah,
which
that's true.
unfortunately we haven't been, right? So what
Yeah.
Ekal does, it's the Arogya Foundation. So it's called Ekal Arogya. So
Okay.
a group of doctors, a group of very successful doctors, I would say, from the US, Indian
Okay.
origin doctors, started this. Of course, with the noble aim that they are very successful. They've achieved what they wanted in life. They're treating their patients here, but why don't we do something for their home country also, or the country of origin? One can say. So they formed this Ekal
Okay.
Arogya, and it has been a tremendous success. Now, what their aim is to have a Arogya center in all of the 67,000 schools, but we're getting there. It's not there yet, but
Okay.
we're getting there. And the idea is not
Okay.
to establish very fancy hospitals or very expensive ones. It's very basic hygiene, health, civic sense, like Archit put it, and just
Yeah.
people who would otherwise not have access to anything basic either now have something that they can rely on in terms of health also. So these are the three main arms of Ekal, and via these three, there's a lot of activities
Okay.
that goes on. So it's a thriving ecosystem out there. Ekal is its own ecosystem, I would say.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. Really great. You people are doing awesome job. We heard that there is a concert in New Jersey for fundraising for Ekal Vidyalaya. Could you please
Mm-hmm.
share some more details about that?
Sure thing. Now, as we spoke, right, it's all about the cause. So, yes, we do
Yeah,
have a concert, and yes, it's entertaining, it's interesting, but at the end of the day, our objective is to make sure that A, people know what Ekal is all about, because that's the PR outreach part of it, right? Which is why we need this concert.
that's
Otherwise,
true.
if we just call people and have nothing, it doesn't work out. So that's the event. But B, more
Okay.
importantly, we also want to make sure that people are inspired enough to donate for the cause. And even better, sometimes they say it's easy to donate, but it's more difficult to give your time. So we want
Yeah,
more
that's
volunteers
true.
also. So that's the best. That's the best option. If somebody, for whatever reason, is very busy, often professional and personal life takes over, so you can't always do it. But for whatever
Yeah,
reason they cannot at that point in time, you can always donate. But if not, if you just want to test the waters, if you just want to see, get a feel for what Ekal is, and then you want to decide what Ekal is and donate, just come for the
yeah,
concert. So even that is good enough. Just get a ticket and come for the concert. So this is on Saturday, right? Not too far away, just 2 days
yeah,
away
that's
on
true.
Saturday, April 14th. Now, this is from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. and it's in Central Jersey. I can give the exact address. It's
Yeah,
132 Jefferson Avenue. So that's basically where it is. It's middle school auditorium. It's a school auditorium, a
okay.
400-person capacity, where practically sold out. I think we're looking at the last 10 tickets now. So whoever really wants to go for this one, please make sure that you buy it today, because tomorrow you may not have tickets. You can always buy them online. So one way was, of course, if you know some Ekal volunteer, we always give them tickets so they can pass it on to the folks so they know. But you can always purchase online. It's ekal.org. I'll just spell it for you. It's E like England, K like Kansas, A like Apple, and L like London. Ekal.org. Over there, just go to events on the top menu, and you'll find our Edison concert on April 14th. It's very straightforward, very simple online purchase. It'll be very user-friendly. And what it is, it's a very interesting concept we're trying out this time. Now, it's an Indian Kathak dancer called Aditi Bhagwat. She's pretty famous. You can Google her up. She has a wiki page. She's very famous. You can see her videos online. The crowds have been mesmerized by her performances. Like, she's really, really good. That's what I can assure you. She's trying a new concept where she's trying to mix Kathak with Spanish flamenco dancing. You know, flamenco by itself is like a fine art.
And it's a fusion.
Flamenco, absolutely. So flamenco on its own is a fine art. Now imagine like you have Kathak and a flamenco combination, and she pulls it off. Sometimes people might think that, hey, these medleys don't work, but you really have to see it to believe it. If the feedback I got from other chapters where she's performed already is anything to go by, this is going to be an absolute super hit dance musical program. I can guarantee you that. So if not for Ekal, I would say just for having fun with your family, a relaxed evening on Saturday, your kids will have fun. If not for Ekal, I would say just come for the concert. Just see it, and mark my words, you won't regret it. You'll have a fun evening.
Oh, okay. Is Aditi Bhagwat group is from India, or they are here?
Yeah, she's coming all the way from India. So she lives in Mumbai. She has her own dance school in Mumbai. And she's a traditional Kathak performer, basically. And, of course, over the years, she's tried a lot of fusion. In fact, she's tried a lot of fusion with jazz music also. So she's a pretty creative artist. She's a fun person. I've been speaking to her to arrange this program in the past. She's a really vivacious lady, full of life, and she really wants to deliver. She makes sure that the audience goes back home happy.
Oh, okay. That's nice. Mr. Ajay, do you want to talk anything about this program?
I think Akshay covered most of it. It's going to be a very fun event for a family. Thing is, I personally feel that the program will be enough. It'll be lively. It'll be entertaining enough to persuade anyone, and it'll be able to educate any member of the audience and persuade them to donate to Ekal.
Absolutely. And to that, to Archit's point, right? Like I said before, we're trying to focus on youngsters. So the future always lies with younger people. So knowing that, right, we're including a lot of younger people in this year's concert. So there's one thing is the dance and the flamenco combination, but there's also going to be presentations on what Ekal does. It'll be quick, of course. It won't be too long. The focus is on the show, but
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hey, I think my call got dropped accidentally.
Oh, okay. No problem. Just go ahead.
Yeah, so it's basically there's another youngster called Rohan Sharma, and he's going to be presenting in the beginning a wonderful concept called Palm. Now, what Palm does is it takes resources from places which are economically backward. For example, there's a Ekal Gramothan Center. They produce a lot of good organic products out there. So I explained to you what Gramothan is, right? It's basically the extension of the Vidyalaya, where you have resource centers with skill development, organic farming, economic assistance, and all of that. So they have some wonderful products. Like, you should sometime try that Ekal turmeric that we sell and some other goods that we have from the actual farms. So that's basically actually shipped from India, from actual Ekal organic farms. So what this kid did, he's a brilliant guy. And what he did, he came up with a concept where he says that why do we let it go waste by just trying local markets in India? Because that's not as profitable as it would be if we actually ship the product here and sell. So it's a non-profit. So what he does, he actually coordinates with the farmers in India. He makes really nice packaging with Ekal brand on it, and he sells it to the market in the US. He passes on all the profits to the Ekal villagers. So that really is very helpful for them. So he's going to make a quick presentation on that. We'll also have a booth outside where we can take pre-orders for these products. Some of them are really cool. I would say I personally like the Ekal turmeric a lot. So and everybody's a fan of that. So I think anybody who comes to the concert, I would surely say try it out. The other one thing we're trying is there's a young lady, like a very enthusiastic young lady. Rhythm is her name. Now Rhythm is going to recreate an Ekal village. So she's using some props. And she's good at art and craft. She's a pretty artistic kind of person. So along with 2-3 other youngsters, she's recreated a nice Ekal village. So you can take selfies out there. So kids, this Ekal village is a lot of fun for the kids in other chapters. So hopefully there's much more to it than just the concert itself. There's all these other things that will make it fun for your family. Not to mention that the cause is great, and of course we'll be appealing for donations during the show. You can give it if you so desire at the time. We'll be announcing the names of people who have donated significantly. So all in all, it's a fun experience. It goes for like 3.5 hours. Of course, somebody's busy, they're free to leave earlier. But the whole thing is around 3.5 hours, and it's a complete 360 fun experience. It's not just one thing or the other. There's a lot of cool things that come together to make this concert happen.
Oh, okay. That's nice. Are you going to concert in any other places in USA or just in New Jersey?
No, there's a long lineup. So basically, how it works is every year we have one artist come from India. It could be anybody.
Okay.
And last year we had a nice experiment where we actually got some people from real Ekal villages. So the folk artists. So that's one way. This year we got Aditi Bhagwat, who's trying out a flamenco Kathak combination. So that's another example. But each year we try out something like this, which is really cool. Now, these guys toured the US for almost 6 months because we have 36 chapters. It's a complete tour schedule they have. They start from somewhere in Florida, usually go along the coast, go to the west coast, then come back to the east coast, then they again start from Boston, go all the way to the south. So they're here for 6 months. They're touring continuously. They're pretty much doing concerts every second or third day. It's pretty stressful for them. But hats off to them that they still keep the energy alive. And they do concerts with every single chapter. So that's, So for those of you who are not in New Jersey or not in the area, like I said, it's 132 Jefferson Avenue in Greenbrook Township, New Jersey. That's our concert. But if you're not in New Jersey, do not worry, because we have the same concert in almost all major cities of the US. So just log on to ekal.org, go to events. It will provide you a full schedule of the events that are still left. Some of them are, of course, over because it's already been a month and a half since Aditi Bhagwat's group has been touring. But there's a lot of events left. So do check it out.
Okay. What kind of impact Ekal could make in the people's lives, and how satisfied you are personally, Mr. Akshay?
So let's have Archie take this question because he's just started to get more involved with Ekal, and he might have a sense of how he personally would feel satisfied if he were maybe more engaged with Ekal, if he feels that he's associated with a good cause. So let's, Archie, do you want to go for it?
Yeah. So since you asked 2 questions, first I'd like to talk about the impact that Ekal has made. So, since, as stated before, Ekal provides easy or accessible education to rural villages. And so, Ekal provides education that these children just wouldn't be able to have if it weren't for Ekal. And so they give these children a core curriculum. So these children can have the ability, they have the education, the foundation to be able to move on and maybe become something, maybe pursue a career, or maybe just generally be more educated, move on to bigger and better things. Also, the schools that they build in these rural villages, they provide they provide employment for the villagers themselves. So not only does the program provide education for the children, and education for the actual villagers. And it not only improves their lifestyles, but it provides employment for the adults as well in the village. And you also asked how satisfied I was personally. Personally, I am very satisfied with the work Ekal has done so far, and being part of the cause does mean a lot to me. But I also feel like Ekal still has many more ways to go, and the program is only expanding and becoming bigger and becoming better. It's only improving more and more. And I personally feel that there's more that Ekal can achieve, and it's going to achieve that. So I am satisfied, but there's still more coming in the future.
That's awesome. And what about you, Mr. Akshay? How satisfied you are personally?
Look, this is an awesome feeling. In fact, I would say for whoever is listening to the program, you guys should really try it out. Because what they say, right, in life, up to a certain point, getting material things does help. And absolutely no denying that. One cannot undermine the value of having your finances taken care of and material things coming into your life. However, after a certain point, the thing that gives you maximum happiness is how much you're able to impact the society around you or the world around you. It depends on how the scale is. Maybe you're able to help out a few friends, even that's an impact. If you're able to help out your local community, that's an impact, and you can keep scaling it up. But it's a proven fact that after a certain point, once your essential finances are taken care of to a level where you're quite happy, the biggest happiness you derive out of helping others. And what better than something like this, where you can genuinely feel you made an impact on the lives of people where it was really required, right? Because this is a place in rural India where it's really required. And your actions, be it volunteering, donating, or giving time for organizing concerts, or even organizing other activities outside of this concert which promote this cause, there is really nothing in it for yourself, but you're doing it for someone else. And there is no better happiness than going back home feeling that you made a change or you made a difference in the world for the better.
Yeah.
So I honestly feel that whoever is listening to this program should try it out. There's no harm trying. If you don't like it, you can always go to some other cause. But then, believe me, it's a lot of fun. So one thing is personally being satisfied because you believe you made a change in someone else's life for the better. But there's also the family feeling, right? Because you end up making more friends. While organizing the concert, you get to meet more people, your social network grows, you involve in bonding activities like creating that Ekal hut, or, for example, now I would bond so much better with Archit after this call because now we have done this together. It's more like an activity for us, right? So imagine doing this many times over. You meet people of your age, make great friends, and these are friends for life because there are people who have been associated with Ekal for 20 years, 25 years. It's addictive. Like they never go away. They're always there, and they form the whole circle around it. So believe me, just try it out once, and you'll get a lot of personal pleasure yourself, personal satisfaction yourself, and a lot of fun along the way. Most importantly, you learn a lot too.
That's true. Even I encourage our listeners to follow the Ekal events and participation. Waiting on the call to talk with us. Let me take a call. Hello.
Hello, Swapna. I want to talk to Mr. Akshay.
Yeah. Okay,
this is Saujanya from Chicago.
Yeah. Hi, Saujanya garu. Yeah. Please talk with Akshay garu.
Hey,
Mr. Akshay, hi. Good evening. Yeah, good evening. I'm calling from Chicago. I have a couple of questions after reading the flyer about your Ekal, everything. So the thing is here, how much are you confident about running one teacher's school? Because when we look over to the schools where we have studied, we have with many lot of teachers, we could not we are not able to complete all the syllabus, or we are not able to teach the kids properly, right? So how much you feel and how much you are struggling, or how much you are planning on running this one teacher school? And you are saying that to run one teacher schools throughout India, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
That's a very, very good question.
How much is it? Yeah, because it is not possible to run the school with one teacher, because with multiple teachers only it is very difficult.
I totally hear you. And that's the exact question I had around the time when I joined.
Yeah.
Of course, it takes time to understand the concept, and it's even better sometimes if you actually get more involved with Ekal. Some people end up going to a real school. That's the next level, I would say. Of course, it all starts with basic volunteering, then it goes on to donating. Then if you're like a donor who's pretty involved and you really want to see how much impact your money is making, of course, everybody wants it. Nobody wants to put their money in a black hole and forget about it, right? It's your hard-earned money. People want to understand what the impact is. So there are big donors who actually landed up in real Ekal schools. They take good facts, very senior people who now my dream is to also go to one of these schools. I have not done that yet, but I have had the good fortune to speak with people who actually live in these schools day in, day out, and also some senior members in the community, big donors, influential and wealthy people who actually care to go there and spend some time. So here's the thing, right? One has to understand that this is not the regular school that we perceive when we think about school in general. Because if I'm talking about a school that actually does government syllabus or even a private school with maybe an international facility, that's a whole different ballgame. Out there, it's a properly packaged education which is complete and holistic on its own from 1st to 10th standard. It has to adhere to certain very strict standards. There have to be at least 10 subjects taught by different teachers. There's physical education. On top of all of that, you have to have a school playground infrastructure. That's a very different ballgame.
Yeah.
You have to realize
that is
that
what
schools.
Yeah.
Exactly. But here's the thing, right? So you have to understand, and that's the basic premise on which Ekal started. And even to this day, that's the target audience it serves. These are people that are really subsistence, like really Adivasis, who absolutely have nothing else. It's a very bare bones, either subsistence level agriculture, which is just about keeping them afloat, or maybe some other very basic kind of work. So they would not have anything otherwise. So let alone fancy schools with 10 subjects and multiple teachers adding to syllabuses, they would really have absolutely nothing. Their education would just be whatever their parents would teach them as a regular life lesson, but nothing more than that. Now, what Ekal does, it transforms their life. So Ekal does not run in regular cities where there's big schools already. That's not Ekal's aim. So Ekal caters to that section of the population which is absolutely living at a subsistence level. I would even say unfortunate, but I have to use the word in abject poverty, honestly. Because that's the honest, harsh truth, right?
Yeah.
So for them,
everything is fine, but the thing is, sorry to interrupt you, Akshay, but the fact is nowadays, all the parents, most of the parents, they're much interested in the kids going to school and studying all the book knowledge and to be only involved in the book knowledge and everything. They don't want, most parents, they're not encouraging the kids to explore or to explore the outer world, right? So, like, how can you gather the students and to learn whatever you teach with one teacher? Because it is not like all the kids will be at the same age and kids will be of different ages and everything, right? We can't teach all the kids at a time and same syllabus, right? Same thing.
That is correct. So let me try and explain, right? So you're confusing Ekal with a very formal kind of education. This is a little informal where we pick teachers from the same village who only teach you basic stuff like basic mathematics, folklore. They'll teach you basic history, so to speak, using stories, using certain characters from our traditions.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly. So it is not following like a regular standard syllabus.
Yes.
So what happens is, at the end of the day, the goal is only to make sure that the kid is able to read and write. They can count basic mathematics, fundamental science, and also to some degree our own culture, our folklore, our stories, our heroes, those kind of things. Now, once that is done, right, yes, there is a gap.
Yes.
So this doesn't qualify as a proper school. But at least now it equips the family and the kid to say that, hey, we were able to read and write. Now it's
that is what,
yes. Yeah. Then they have to take it to the next level.
Every village will be, most of the villages will be educated, right? So it is at least a minimal.
I would say the correct word would be they would be literate. They would be literate. Now, I understand that education comes with a certain connotation that you are really going through a proper school. That's why educated. So I would say every village would be literate.
Literate.
So they would be literate.
They're able to. Yeah.
And after that, it's completely on them to take it from that point. And you will be amazed to know people who absolutely had nothing to start with, alumni of Ekal schools, actually have gone on to become engineers, IAS officers, army officers. We really have stories like that. I can actually share them with you. You go to our website and you'll find out.
So as far as now, how many villages you have covered as far as now in India?
As of today, there's 67,000 villages, give or take. Like, I'm rounding it off, but there's approximately 67,000 villages.
So all these villages are from every part of India, or only
every state of India?
Every single state, including a little bit of the troubled, as in insurgency affected states like Kashmir and areas where there's border problems. Even there we have set up schools. So credit goes to the volunteers and the karyakartas and the dedicated people who actually.
That is what. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So really, you should sometimes meet those grassroots workers. They have really left everything in their lives and just dedicated for this cause. Sometimes
because nobody will be ready to volunteer, right? Nowadays, nobody will be ready to volunteer to teach or anything because they want to earn money and do something or the other. But nobody will be ready to volunteer.
So even me, for example, I am sitting in the comfort of my own house and I'm just doing it on radio. So I'm not affected in that way. But think of that volunteer who's literally going inside a village in Jharkhand, setting things up, leaving everything aside, leaving their own self-interest, going to Kashmir, setting a school up, or maybe even deep parts of Andhra where there might not be good facilities like there are in cities, setting everything up, making sure it's running. So that's a different kind of sacrifice and a different kind of contribution. So really hats off to them for doing all of that.
Yeah, but to run this Ekal and everything, really, you all need a lot of guts and a lot of courage to run all these things. And really hats off to all of you guys who are doing all these volunteer for this Ekal and everything. Real nobody nowadays are ready to volunteer or teach in villages without any profit. Right?
Very true. And Saujanya-ji, I think you should also join us. And not necessarily to go to the villages, but in Chicago, you can join the chapter and maybe help out in whatever way you can. And it will be a great experience.
Sure, because I'm much interested in teaching as well. So I can volunteer for that. That's not at all a problem. So just let me know whenever it happens in Chicago, and if I'm flexible for that time, I can do. Yeah.
Sure thing. So just log on to ekal.org. The contact of the Chicago person you'll get there, and you can take it from there. So I'm in New Jersey. There's an equivalent person in Chicago also.
Okay, sure. Okay, thank you, Akshay. Have a nice day, and wish you all the best in the future.
Thanks for calling us, Saujanya Garu.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Bye. That's Saujanya Garu. And let's come to the topic, Akshay and Ajit. What are the other way of fundraising available for the Ekal supporters?
So there's a couple of ways in which you can do it, right? And then maybe after I say what traditional ways we use now, maybe then we can also have Archit suggest some ideas, because we always believe that the younger people come with more smarter ideas, and we are more like with the traditional kind of way, right? So let me say what we do today, then maybe Archit can add on to that. So as of today, our fundamental way of fundraising in the US, of course, there's many other countries in which Ekal chapters operate, not for schools, because schools are of course in India and Nepal primarily, but Ekal does have chapters across the world for fundraising. So in the US, the primary source of fundraising so far, of course, each chapter also has its own thing, but the fundamental thing that we all do is the Ekal concert. It's an annual concert, so happens once a year, and it also serves as a good way to reunite with our donor base, our patron base and everything. So that way we actually we use that as a networking and a social event also. Everybody comes together, And it's a good opportunity to raise some funds where, like I already said, how it works is in the middle of the concert, we'll take a break, we'll announce the pledging process will start, we'll present what Ekal is about. So old donors and known patrons already have the checks ready. The new ones, if they feel inspired, they can donate something at that same time. So that's the foundational thing. That was our main source of fundraising so far. But in the near past, in the recent past, right, we've branched out to many other aspects. Now, we have a very good website. Like one of our volunteers, he's a web designer, did a great job, Vidyalaya. He has set up a great website with his team. And it's extremely easy to donate online. So you just log on to the website. There's a nice donate link there. You enter your information and you get automated receipt. Everything is done. So online is one way of donating. Coming to the concert is one way of donating. Some of the other things is company matching. For example, if you work for a company which actually matches donation, Ekal, because of its popularity, and it's an extremely clean organization, absolutely well audited. It's accredited by the Better Business, not the Better Business, but the US organization. And the Indian arm is also completely audited. All the reports are available online, and anybody who donates gets a complete picture of what their money is being used for, the annual reports, what percentage was used where. So it's a 100% audited organization, clean organization, comes with the 501c, which means all your donations are tax-free, tax deductible. So with all these facilities, right, most of the bigger Fortune 500 companies have us as a partner. So if you're working for any of these, you can potentially double your impact by donating money and your company will match it. That's one other way in which we have done. So other things we have done, they are more geared for the younger people. Like we have apathons, we have poetry writing competitions. There are other events that the younger professionals organize. It could be a smaller but a more localized niche event that people organize, like like marathons or walkathons, or something that is fun for more younger people. So we have tried a combination of all of that also. Though our fundamental revenue stream is still the concert, there's a lot of branching out that is happening, and there are rock solid plans in the future to diversify it, which is a big reason, right? Why we have like young people like Archit on the call today. Now he'll come up with his own set of ideas. He'll say, hey, the concert is all great, but I have these 5 things which I think are cool and I want to execute them. And we'll be like, yes, by all means, it's all yours. You come up with a plan, you tell us what you want to do, and we'll give you all the support. So any more thoughts you want to add, Archit, on that note?
Yeah, so well, besides what was already said, obviously you can donate online, donate through the company. I also know that you can take the Ekal Pledge, which allows you to donate $1 each day, which can support an entire school. But then there are many other different ideas. I know there are many young, motivated people who want to work for Ekal and want to raise money. I know of kids I know they're young, like teenagers, who they'd use their own like Sweet 16s or their Zoti ceremonies or Sari ceremonies, and they'd use these events, and then they'd have an option at the event where you'd also, instead of just simply writing a check to the girl or boy, you could actually donate to Ekal. I know young teenagers who they use their piano recitals or their concerts, their own events, and they use these events and they give an option where you can also donate to Ekal. So there are a lot of motivated young adults in the U.S. and around the world who want to donate to Ekal and have found many creative solutions to do that.
Okay. Someone is waiting on the call. Let's take that call, please. Hello.
Yeah, hi Swapna, it's Manju.
Hi Manju, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. So, yeah, it's a very good show. Thanks for bringing Akshay and other person. And hi Akshay, it's Manju here.
Hey Manju, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. So, and also the other person, sorry, I didn't get the name, but
it's Ajay. You could call him Ajay.
Yeah. Hi. Firstly, I just really want to heartfully thank you for you guys, like, what you're doing. And until like today, I'm listening to and I've just searched on the internet, it's really beautiful, and I really appreciate the services you guys are doing. That's Ekal services, and very keen to join as a volunteer. So I'm just wondering, so what are the, do you have any prerequisites to join as a volunteer, or what are the do you have anything to say to become a volunteer?
Absolutely nothing, except you have to bring your positive energy to the group. That is all the prerequisite. No prerequisite. So there's all sorts of people, there's all sorts of age groups. Anyone who has something to contribute is more than welcome. Because of course, some people come with different skills. Like somebody might be good on the technology side, somebody might be more experienced worldly wise, comes with experience on the operations side. Somebody might just be a pure enthusiastic volunteer where they say, hey, tell me what I need to do and I'll get it done. So there's all sorts of people, and there's absolutely no dearth of opportunity. And like I said, right, there's a lot of creative freedom within the basic framework of the Ekal guidelines. So of course, there are some guidelines that Ekal management will give you, but within that framework, people have gotten creative, done all sorts of things, like right from, like Archit mentioned, right, sweet 16s, or maybe have your birthdays where the gifts are diverted to Ekal instead of yourself, or some people even have given the proceeds of their daughters' marriages completely to Ekal. Like all the gifts that people got on the daughter's marriage was given to Ekal.
Daughter's marriage.
Like me, you'll be interested in how I started actually. So when I joined, I really did not have any niche area. I was not sure like how would I contribute. So I did go for like one concert, help them put some flyers up there, and maybe I did some errands, but it was limited. Then I thought, maybe what else can I do? I actually ran a marathon the following summer. So I ran a marathon and I dedicated that marathon to Ekal, and I used that marathon as an excuse to promote Ekal to friends and family and ask them to donate to Ekal if they want to support my marathon. So that was like a fun way of keeping healthy, staying fit, and at the same time benefiting this organization. And the management was totally supportive. They were like, yeah, you do your thing, and whatever you need from us, we'll give you. So it's a lot of fun actually. So in any and every way you want to contribute, even beyond donations. Donations is one thing, but the more fun part is when you volunteer and you actually create more interest in other people for Ekal's cause. So when you do that, right, there's a lot of ways, and any skill that you have to offer is more than welcome. So there's no prerequisite in that sense, except having interest in doing something good for humanity. That's all we want.
Social cause. That's really good. Because as an younger generation, we really do want to help out people, but there's no route way or route map how to do it. Other than you forming an organization and getting the donations. But I've really never heard about this Ekal even before, like just 1 hour before, but it's a really good, I think you guys might really need some of more marketing, because when I looked at the website, it's an awesome job you guys are doing, and I think it's just missing out on the marketing side or something, but definitely I'll get pitching
I cannot agree more. I totally agree with you, because such a wonderful cause, I would have expected every person of Indian origin in the US to know about it, but that's not the case, and that's where we need inputs and enthusiasm from younger people like you who can come forward and say, I have a marketing plan. If I do this, then a lot more people will know about Ekal. So this is the exact reason why we're totally all about actually getting more youth in the organization as of this point in time, because we really want to grow from this point, and we know that will only happen when younger people with more enthusiasm come and join us.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you have anything scheduled out in Pittsburgh, in Pennsylvania or something? Or
you're in Westchester, New York?
I'm in Delaware.
Oh, you're in Delaware. So, I wouldn't know it off my head. There's several chapters. So, what you already have been to the website, right? So, try to look for the closest chapter where you are. And if that doesn't work out, right, just, you know what, you can always take down my email ID. I'm giving you my email ID. So, if you're not able to find the right person, I'll help you find them. So, it's my first name, Akshay, Akshay. And my last name, Joshi, without the I. So it's Akshay Josh. So AKSHAY JOSH @gmail.com. If you can send me an email, I'll try to help you out. So wherever you are, whatever location you are, I'll try to hook you up with the right person, and you can be a part of Ekal from that point.
Definitely. So JOSH. And thank you, Archit, and thank you a lot, Akshay, for what you guys are doing. May God really help you guys to grow more, and
I would rather have God help Ekal. That's still better.
Sorry?
I said I would rather have God help Ekal instead of me. So that way, it's more
of
power
course,
to
you guys
Ekal.
you guys are
I'm just kidding.
Forward, right? It's vice versa. But thank you. And thanks, Swapna, for bringing them on, and really good to know about the Ekal Foundation. Thank you.
Thanks, Manjula. Thanks for calling us. This is the one of the question. This is the one of the question I want to ask you, that how to get into the voluntary work, and she asked you how many employees and volunteers work. She did my job actually. That's nice. How many employees and volunteers are working for Ekal Vidyalaya?
Yeah, so we were referring before, right? Ekal is so it's purely a cost-driven organization, which means that we keep very, very, very minimal overheads, and you can actually
Yeah,
go online and look for it. Any regular and non-profit organization, not to discredit them, but everybody does great work. But the nature of the business of being a non-profit means that you have to invest a lot in overheads. Sometimes
that's
administrative
true.
costs like keeping for full-time employees or marketing actually goes quite high. In Ekal, it is less than 10%, which is commendable. It's like way below industry standard. And how do we do it? We do it by being frugal at every level. So we are
Okay.
frugal in literally everything we do. Even, for example, the concert that we're organizing, we know that it's other people's money. We are custodians of that. We cannot be spending like it's our money, right? So
Yeah,
even if we have to
that's
buy
true.
pens for people to write pledges on, we'll get it from a dollar store. We'll not just spend just because the Houston office was sending us money. So we're very frugal at every level. We want to make sure that the money completely goes towards the cause and not wasted in any way. So to that effect, our employees are very minimal. There's just like one in the US because that is
Mm-hmm.
required because we wanted an executive director to make sure that all the chapter coordination, everything is done. And
Mm-hmm.
in India, there's very minimal. It's mostly
Okay.
volunteer driven. So it is very employee light and volunteer heavy. And the reason behind this is because we want to make sure that our overheads are low and the $365 a day, which we keep saying is going to promote
Mm.
one school per year, is actually
Yeah.
manageable. But otherwise, if the overhead as the overhead goes higher, right, that becomes a little difficult. So we are really employee light actually. It's mostly very, very dedicated volunteers. Some of
Oh,
them for
that's
decades,
awesome.
completely immersed in this work.
Oh, that's nice. Do you want to share anything else with our listeners?
So let's see. We spoke about the different aspects of Ekal. We spoke about Gramothan, Arogya, Vidyalaya, uh, and
Yeah.
I would say go to the website. There's a lot of interesting stories also because sometimes these things would be more conceptual. But if you really see, like if I actually see the story of say Lakshmi, who did not have anything, like they used to live in a hut with nothing other than basic food for survival. And then something connected her to Ekal school. Afterwards, her sister also joins, and lo and behold, now she's doing her telecommunications engineering. So
Oh.
success stories like these, right? I have plenty of them. Now, very interesting. Last year, like I said, there were actual Ekal villagers who had come to perform in the US because we thought that
Mm-hmm.
why don't we try this out? That way, people will really get a feel of the actual place from where the people are coming, and that way they'll interact with them, which otherwise would not be possible. So instead of getting a regular artist, we got actual Ekal villagers who performed last year. Now, fortunately, as a part of being chapter president, I was invited to a place where we could engage and interact with them outside of the concert. Now, concert is one thing, but it's a different thing where you interact with them on a one-to-one basis. So many wonderful stories. There was this lady from Assam who would have otherwise led a very banal kind of life. She would have been maybe married at an early age, just had several kids, no education, nothing. Now,
Mm-hmm.
something connected her to Ekal teacher. He inspired her that you should take up this and you should actually come over and you should maybe become a teacher yourself one day. A lot of opposition from her house. Mom, dad, of course.
Mm.
Why would they let anybody go like that? It's a little unsafe also. People perceive that way, right? So they were not willing to
Yeah,
let her go.
that's true.
But she was
Mm-hmm.
strong-willed. She was like nothing doing. I have to do this. This is my calling. Now today she's a Ekal teacher. She actually got a chance to come to the US, toured like
Oh,
36
wow.
cities. So
Mm.
completely changed her life, right? So these are
Yeah,
just two
that's true.
stories. I can tell you 20 more if I had the time, but these are the kind of personal stories that really make a difference. Now, because I can go on about the numbers or 67,000 schools or 2 million people, but that's not personal. These are the kind of stories that you will start to hear once you become a volunteer and you get more involved. And that is where you really get the satisfaction and happiness. Because it's real people and real lives that are being affected.
Yeah. Ajit, what about you? What do you want to share with uh anything with our listeners? Do you want to talk in Telugu?
Personally, I think just for fluency's sake, I'll stick with English. But I think Akshay and I covered most of it. But I just think to anyone listening out there, especially any young adult, any teenager, Ekal is a great cause to be part of, a great cause to donate to. And if there's anyone on the line or anyone tuning in who wants to find a new way, a new good cause to follow, a new way to give back to the community, then Ekal is that solution.
That's awesome. And it's very pleasure talking to you, both of you. Thank you so much for coming to the Telugu NRI radio. And it's pleasure talking to you both, Akshay and Ajit, from Telugu NRI radio and from all our listeners. We really appreciate all your efforts for making change in lives and people.
Oh, thank you very much, Swapna ji. And I don't know if Vilas is also on the call, but thanks to him a lot for giving us this opportunity and helping us spread the positive message of Ekal to this community. In fact, one of the big plans we have for this year, we really want to engage the Telugu community. I really wish I could speak the language. Yeah. I'm a Kannadic actually, so kind of close. So I can speak in Telugu, but I don't know Telugu, unfortunately. But we really are pushing really hard because it's a wonderful community, wonderful people. There's so much going on there. It's like it's a thriving community, and we want to make sure that we make all our efforts for greater outreach, so that it's a mutually beneficial thing, right? The more they also get involved with the Ekal cause, better. And of course, Ekal, like we said, has schools in literally every state. So we have a lot of schools in Andhra Pradesh also. So if somebody wants to locally do something, maybe the next time when you're back home, you want to check out an Ekal school. So there's Ekal schools in Andhra Pradesh also, which you can go and actually check out, just to make.
That's true.
Just to just to see for yourself how the impact is. So there's a lot of great opportunity. It's a community that we surely want to reach out to and have a more fruitful relationship going forward. So expect a lot of outreach from our side, and hopefully this is just the beginning of many more great things to come.
Yeah, that's true. And thanks a lot, Mr. Akshay and Ajit, for joining with us tonight.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah. That's our show for today. అయితే రేపు ఒక కొత్త టాపిక్ తీసుకొచ్చి ఎంజాయ్ చేసుకుంటూ మనమందరం మాట్లాడుకుందాం. అంతవరకు సెలవు. నమస్తే, మీరందరూ జాగ్రత్త. టేక్ కేర్ అండ్ షబా కేర్ అండ్ గుడ్ నైట్. సీ క్యాచ్ యూ అప్ ఆల్ టుమారో. వినిపించు ప్రవాసాంధ్రుల గుండె చప్పుడు తెలుగు NRI రేడియో.